Hello everybody and welcome to the Toy Story 2 tier list video. So this will be my personal ranking of these levels. I was inspired by this in the Toy Story 2 Discord. Someone made a tier list and sent the template for it. So I thought that's pretty cool. Don't know why I haven't done one of these till now. I'll be ranking these basically on my own, choice, not anyone else's. I did see my friend Maxwell's tier list, but I've forgotten about it because it was like a couple of days ago. And I'm pretty sure I was surprised with some of the things that he picked, so we'll obviously cover that and talk about that. But I haven't been able to find other people's tier lists. I've looked through, click this, and it says there are not enough rankings to create a average for the Toy Story 2 level tier. So I will link this in the description of this video, so it'd be nice if other people could, do it. It's 10 o'clock exactly when I started this video. That's pretty, I didn't mean to do that. Right, so let's start ranking these. I will probably do best to worst. So for me, and then I'll tell you why I'm picking this. Andy's House, S tier. A lot of people don't think this is S tier. From some of the other tier lists I saw in the Discord that was being sent, I didn't see Andy's House in a lot of people's lists being S tier. In fact, I think I even saw this being in some people's here, or at least here. I honestly think it's S tier. It's one of my favourite levels in a 3D platformer, in my opinion. I think it's a great way to introduce players to the game. It has you, it teaches you how to jump. You jump on the cabinets, you push over the book to get to the bed, you jump on the bed, you jump on the cabinet, you jump into the drawers open up once you've landed on one of them, you climb up a pole, you slide down that zip line, you land into Molly's cot. It teaches you to zoom in with your visor and lock onto the locks on the cot so you can get out. And then you go up to the attic and you push a box to get, there was loads of things that the level taught you to do. If you look at Al's penthouse is so much more advanced than Andy's house, but that's because it's going to be because they wanted to probably up the difficulty. As the levels are progressing, the difficulty gets more. So I just honestly think Andy's house is the best level in Toy Story 2. I would like to see people in the comments tell me what their list is or send me their lists. That'd be quite cool. I do have a Coke here because I know that my throat is going to start just giving out soon for no reason. Okay, second favourite level. I mean, this is going to be fucking obvious. Andy's Neighbourhood. I love this level. Excuse me. See, it's already going. I love this level. There is things about it I'm not a massive fan of, such as when you're climbing up the tree and you fall down. Once you've fallen down the tree and you didn't get the rope. When I was younger, I didn't realise you could get the rope so you could climb back up again. It's slow anyway. On an emulator where you can save state, I love the level. It's probably it's definitely one of my favourite levels as well. If you're playing it on the original PS1 with no save states and no, being able to speed up time, it's a nightmare. So if you fail, and I fail a lot. I like the pool where you can jump on the duck and pump it up and then get on there. That's just really clever. You can get on top of the tree to the highest point and jump down. I don't think there's many levels where you can do that and you don't die or lose health, which is really nice. I think the developers did think of that. Maybe I should have had some music for this, some kind of music playing in the background, some Toy Story music playing. And what else? What else is there to the level that is just brilliant? You do something with a car, don't you? You make the car wheels go down so you can jump on the bonnet and it pings you across, similar to like the chair in Andy's living room in Andy's house. That's just fantastic as well. I like the bit where you're stomping on the molehills so the soldiers are forced to come out and it leaves a little smoke trail. It's just a fantastic level as well. With the music as well, I forgot to say the music in these two levels is so memorable, and especially the beginning music in Andy's house when it just loads you into the world and you're so immersed. It's like a sparkly kind of. It's like they really made it feel like you're entering a journey. So what other one would be my third favourite? That you can quite see a lot have gone in S tier so far. I would say Owl's Penthouse is S tier for me. I think it's a great level. It did creep me out a little bit as a kid. I was quite frustrated with the bathroom when you have to keep flooding the bathroom and whatnot. There's things about it's kind of like Marmite for me. I have to be in the right mood. If I'm in the right mood, one of my favourite levels. If I'm not, it can annoy me. I like the bit where you have to find the horseshoes for Bullseye. It's not too complicated. It has you going around the living room. You go into the kitchen. you have to do the thing. I mean, what makes the level so good is probably destroying the cannons and the bit with the train that you have to kind of like block with a box and move it. Or no, you don't block it with a box, do you? You have to make the train stop moving, and you have to block it into a corner of the level. You have to make the train stop. You have to keep switching buttons and whatnot to do it. Quite like that. I hated it as a kid, but as I've gotten older, I appreciate that kind of thing. And it just really does feel immersive that you're genuinely in Al's penthouse. So in my opinion, it's a fantastic level for making you feel like you're in Al's penthouse. In my opinion, it does a better job of showing Al's penthouse than Andy's house does, because Andy's house in Toy Story 2 isn't really that accurate. If you look at the movie and stuff, it's just not that accurate. And obviously we never got a Toy Story 1, so we wouldn't have known, which is kind of sad. And what would I consider another S tier level? Because there's so many going in S tier right now. There is so many. I'd have to say, I don't think it's an S tier. I don't. I like it, but I'm going to have to put Al's Toy Barn in A tier. I honestly feel like that's correct, because it's a great level. The music is fantastic, but the boss is kind of shit. Like it's like a dragon sort of dinosaur boss, which you can beat super easy. There's no challenge to it whatsoever. There's things you can't do because you need the hover boots. You have to come back to the hover boots to get a certain thing. That can be quite annoying. You can't even find all the chicks, I don't think. And I always spend the majority of my time looking for the chick and go, oh yeah, I can't get that yet until you have the hover boots, which it doesn't really explain. It reuses an asset thing where you get a chick from an egg and then you do the same thing again, and this time you'll get a token. That is a little bit cheap in my opinion, because it was like do the same thing twice, really. So yeah, it's a great level, absolutely fantastic. It really does. I would say that it is kind of accurate to the movie. It does look like Al's Toy Barn that you see in the movie, not 100%, but in terms for platforming and the mechanics of a platformer, it works really well, especially where you get the thrust boots or whatever they're called, and you're going like that. That's quite fun, where, you know, there's not many levels where you have been given a chance to do that. So I think it belongs in A tier, but I don't think it's an S tier. Obviously, we're going to be looking at Maxwell's list and seeing what he's done. Construction Yard. This is an absolutely great level, but I think, once again, it's not my favourite. I don't look forward to this level that much, but I don't hate it. It's just one of them levels, you know. If you are lucky, you can get to the top without falling, and if you've done it quite a few times, you know to press the levers on the side of the construction site so that the lift can keep getting you there. If you forget to do that or you miss one, then you've got to do most of it again. And sometimes you get up the top there and you haven't unlocked the disc launcher, and then you can't beat the jackhammer boss, and that's not fun either. So once again, little things in the level that just can make it quite unfun to play. And there's some wonky mechanics that I found when I was trying to get on top of... I think I spent like 3 hours in the level once trying to do an achievement and that. I was looking for like... Maxwell was watching a live stream. I was looking for like batteries and all that, and to find every single coin in the level to unlock the retro achievement. So I really enjoyed doing that, actually. But it really actually proved how much I don't like the level as much as I thought I did. I would have probably put this in S tier if I hadn't have tried to been seeking for the achievements. So for me, I don't think it's a bad level. I don't think it's like a B. I don't really know how to rank the D would be shit for me. C would be meh. B would be okay. A would be good. And S would be fucking awesome. So I'd say it's a good level, but, you know, not that great. Now, Al's Spaceland. I'm going to rate this one next. I'm not a big fan of Al's Spaceland either. I'll actually be putting this in B tier. But when I was younger, I was very scared of this level. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because of the big robot people running towards you, and I didn't know how to beat them. I didn't know you could spin to really kill them, or I forgot that when I was younger. But I did like being able to fight the Buzz boss in the racer car with the rocket. I thought that was great. They have you in like a moon landscape, and you're kind of stuck in there. He's chasing you around. He has a homing missile target on you. It's a good boss fight. It's actually really good, and it doesn't feel half-assed. I would have rather have fought Buzz on land, like going at it with lasers. I think that would have been maybe cooler. Or he has karate moves or something a bit more advanced than what we got. And that's the reason why I'd love Toy Story 2 to be remade. There's so much fucking potential in this platformer, and I don't believe it ever truly reached what it could have done because of just the technology limitations at the time. But there's a lot I don't particularly like our Spaceland. It's very immersive, and the music is kind of, the music is great but a bit creepy. It definitely creeped me out the level. I do like the ball pit that's in the level. I'm not a big fan of the claw. When the claw comes down to pick out the token, there's a lot of sounds going on that kind of hurt my ears in the level, sound effects and that play over and over again. That gets on my nerves personally. And there's this race mission you have to do with a zip wire, and sometimes that can be really buggy. I have experienced some bugs in the level, and I just don't like searching for all the coins. And I should really be putting this for myself personally in D, but it isn't a bad level. It is a really good level. But I personally, like, if I was to rate this like 100% on my personal level, it'd probably be here, but that wouldn't be a fair rating, so I'm putting it in B. I might as well rate Toy Barn Encounter as a boss fight. This is a great boss fight. So I'll put it in A because I think it's great. It's a really good boss. Like, it has, if you don't know, it has like loads of little capsules, which you can kind of see here, these yellow capsules on the side of it. You have to shoot them and it lets out toys for you to attack. They try and attack you. It's a really good boss fight out of all the boss fights. If I was to think of this boss, it's really tedious and annoying. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad one. Really, I don't. But I probably will be putting this in D, just because I think that it's repetitive. All you do is stand there and spam your light. It isn't just, and it jumps on you and hurts you. There's not really a way to avoid it. It is not as good as this. When you compare these two, the design of it is cool, but I actually prefer the beta design of it too. And once I saw the beta design of it, I hated this even more afterwards. So this has to be a D for me. And then we'll do Bombs Away. I actually, when I was younger, I didn't like this, but I think I actually like it. So this is going to be an A as well. Bombs Away and Toy Barn Encounter, these are fine. These two were decent boss fights. Very inventive and clever. Sorry, Slime Time, but that's where you belong. Elevator Hop, D tier. I really do not like Elevator Hop. I think it's a genius level, and it fits it has to be in the game. I do agree. It's not like a filler level where, why did they include this in the game? It makes sense for them to include it in the game, and it does change the difficulty up quite a lot. But it's one of those difficulties where it's more you were unlucky and fell to the bottom. You know, once again, the game does give you opportunities to get back up quicker wherever you've pressed a lever, and it'll have like a gust of wind or something, and Buzz spins around and goes all the way up to the top. The boss in it's quite good. The boss fight, in fact, actually, I do have a tier list as well to rank the bosses, so I'll do that in this as well. And Maxwell did it as well, so I'll be doing that, and hopefully they'll be consistent, or I'll remember exactly what bosses were what. But honestly, it's a tedious level. There's a part where you've got to catch a mouse on the side of the elevators, and then there's one on the roof. And you could spend sometimes 5 or 10 minutes trying to catch this little fucker, and it's just not fun. It's not fun. The whole level isn't fun. And to me, I play games for fun, not so much to torture myself. It's also the reason why I have never done a speed run for Toy Story 2, because I know I'll dislike the game if I speedrun it. I don't want to speedrun games I like, because I know I will never be able to play those games the same way I enjoy them. But then I also don't want to speedrun games I dislike, because I don't like playing those games. That's why I could never get into speedrunning, even though I'd probably be quite good at it. I definitely reckon I could get a world record in Toy Story 2 if I tried my hardest, because of how much I love the game, but I don't think I'll ever attempt that. Alleys and Gullies, I'm going to probably put this in D tier as well. Simply because I genuinely think Alleys and Gullies is a bland level, but it's different than all the other levels. It's not like tedious, or it's just boring. It's just a boring level. You have to get on an air balloon that you have to pump up to go over to a token on a bin. It's not that great. You can't find all the ducks straight away. It feels like a very small level in consideration. You have to come back to the level after you've unlocked the grapple hook. Excuse me, in order to fight the clown top boss, which is obviously, me and Maxwell have already talked about this, the boss that they use for Alleys and Gullies doesn't fit the level, and we know why, because there was a level that was cut, so they had the boss design, we reckon, which is the clown boss for the circus level that was cut, but they just stuck it in Alleys and Gullies. So I personally don't particularly like the boss that for the levels that doesn't fit. It's creepy. It's a creepy boss. It just doesn't fit being on top of a fucking alley that you have to climb up. Keep in mind though, I do like the grappling. It's a very inventive level for grappling from. Really, it should be in C. It should be in C because it maybe. I'm going to actually put it in C because I don't hate it, but it's not great. And you go from, like, you know, and then there's a bit with Slinky where you have to get the bones. That's really easy to do. You just jump. You can speed run the hell out of that so easy. But there is parts where you keep falling in the water, and if you haven't unlocked the rocket boots, it's hard to get out of it. It's just a very boring and bland level. Where Elevator Hop is a good level in terms of its design. It's not boring, but it's just tedious and slow. And that's the way to describe Elevator Hop. It's one of the slowest levels and most frustrating. Where Alleys and Gullies is one of the most boring levels. Our Spaceland for me is just it's not fun. And Slime Time boss is very repetitive. So I think I'm rating them quite fairly. Evil Emperor Zurg boss. I probably will have to put that in S tier because once you know the mechanics, he fires out like balls or something out of his wrist, and all you've got to do as bars is spin to knock them out the way, and sometimes fire them back at him or something, and then you have to quickly run and charge into Zurg and bash him and I just think that's a really good boss. So I think I've rated this quite well as well. I think I wouldn't have wanted, if I'd have put that in S tier, I would have actually thought, hang on a minute, no. Even though I like this one more than this, I think this is actually designed better, and it just fits. This isn't actually in the movie where this is. So, you know, and they did it quite well. And I think it was one of the first times that it kind of used like a weird 3D, 2D, 2.5D model, because Zurg was kind of like flying around the screen. He always looked a little bit weird. So that fight always stuck out to me, even as a kid. Whenever I'd get to it, I kind of look forward to it. Now, these final three, though, if you've noticed here, I've left these final three down here. I seriously don't know where I'm going to rate these. I honestly don't know where I'm going to put these. I never played these levels when I was a kid. I only played them in 2018 for the first time, and then I only played the game recently again, and I really went through these levels properly, not just Let's Playing, I actually was playing them in my spare time. Tarmac Trouble is a fucking fantastically designed level, and it really does feel like a 3D platformer level. But in terms of like difficulty and whatnot, it's another one of them frustrating, tedious levels. It's a bit buggy. You get on top of the aeroplane, and sometimes you stand still, and all of a sudden you fall off. There's everywhere's numbered, so you can kind of know where you want to jump onto different platforms and that. But it's just, it feels like you spend more time running to get onto the plane, to jump onto those things, than you do doing anything else. And I honestly would have to probably put this, honestly, it's not a bad level, it's not a good level, it's going to go in B for me. I know some people absolutely love Tarmac Trouble, and they probably loved it because they played it as a kid, and it was probably like, whoa, it's one of the only levels, I think, where the plane is actually spinning around, like it's doing that forever for some reason. It's never going to take off. It just goes round and round and round. It is very clever and cool, and it's like there's no humans that walk around or anything like that. You know, that's one of the other things about Toy Story that's a bit sad is you don't see people. It's, you know, the world is fucking empty. The toys run the world, you know. But that is it is a cool level. I'm putting it in B, and I think that's a fine place to put it. Now, Airport Infiltration, another great level, which does make sense in terms of the story. But I don't really like this one that much. I find myself often spending ages trying to find things that I never feel rewarded when I found them, and I spend it's just, to me, this one's probably going to go in C. I'm not a massive fan of that level whatsoever, and that's really all I'm going to say about it. I don't hate. It's not a DT. It's not a D. It's not a shit. It's not like these two, which I think are shit. It's just But some people probably fucking love this level. Some people probably, I'd love to be able to see more people's tier list, because I guarantee you these two will probably be up here, but for me they're not. Prospector Showdown. This was going to be the hardest one for me to rank, because I honestly don't know. It's got 3 bosses in it, which is Stinky Pete, the butcher guy, or whatever he is, like a construction worker, and the one that you fight in Al's penthouse. It's not that great of a boss fight, really. Not really. It should have been Stinky Pete on his own, and it should have been a way harder boss fight than it was. It's just a bullet sponge, like a laser sponge battle. I mean, you get to see Woody and Jesse, and then they fling off into the background of a suitcase because Stinky Pete jumps out of it, and Woody looked terrifying and ugly. But it's not that great. The plane should have turned. It should have gone upside down. Luggage should have flown towards you. I can't even remember if that does happen. there was so much potential with Prospector Showdown that I don't think happened. I mean, I could be completely wrong here because I haven't really played that level that much. But every time I've got to the end of it, I've never gone, fuck yeah, I'm at the end. You know, I've never really felt like that. I'm always like, oh, it's come to an end now. So I'm going to have to probably put this in C as well. Not like, I mean, I could probably put it in D, to be honest. But I think that's a pretty good tier list for... I honestly think this is S tier, S tier, S tier, and S tier. I believe that these are decent, but they're not godlike. They're all just okay, and these ones, meh and bad. So that's it. I might be able to zoom the camera in, to be honest. So you can. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can see anyway, unless I do this. Oh, I could have done that. Okay, there you go. So you can see. I'll do that for the bottom. I'm an idiot. All right, now we're gonna rate all the bosses. I think I'm going to have to rate... I'm doing this somewhat live and unedited as well because I just don't want to... You know, so let's put the Clown Top boss. It looks... I don't know how to rate this. I actually don't know how to rate this. Am I rating this based on the level or their mechanics? I don't honestly know how I should rate it. Because if I'm rating it by their designs, I don't know. I don't know how to rate this properly. Okay, I'll try and rate them upon like my enjoyment of them. Okay, Attic boss, S tier. Jackhammer boss, S tier. Zerg... Kite, A tier, and then I'll explain probably why I've picked these. This is quite a good one. This is like, you know, if you actually think about like this one's D tier. That's going in D tier. It's just terrible. Repetitive boss, but it is quite good. So maybe I'll put this one in C tier, you know, if I'm rating it on that alone. Zerg, S tier. This one was actually quite good, and I never really got to play this much as a kid, so I probably will put that in S tier as well, because it was a good boss. This one was okay, but I often was getting shot at by the cannons, I think. So this one can go B. This one can go D. I always thought he was terrible. If they're all together, it was not really that great either. It was just like a this one's going S tier. S tier. Clown Top boss. C, just meh. Stinky Pete boss. Just meh. I'll put that in B as well. And then the plane. I really don't know where to put this. I'm going to have to put them here because I'm going by like the way they're designed. This was a great boss fight in terms of the amount of mechanics they put into it. This one encouraged you to zoom in with your visor to shoot at it. You guys know about this one. This one I found quite good because he would put webs down, you get stuck in them, and then it would fire out a homing rocket similar to this one. So if I'm putting this in S tier, this one will go in S tier. The Jackhammer boss is just fucking fantastic. It is terrifying. It fits the level perfectly. Attic boss, it's the first one you fight, and it fits the level really well. Zerg Kite, the kite or kite Zerg thing, you get up on top of the tree. Don't know if it fits the level that great because it's like a kite. Maybe it does. But yeah, another good one. I still don't know where to put this one. This one was boring as hell. This guy, just whatever. Clown Top boss, I can't even remember his abilities because he's always the last one I fight. So really, he should probably be in D tier as well. In all honesty, he should be in D tier because it's not even really a good boss, is it? Because it's not even designed for that level. It's just been slammed into that level. So that's for me on the bosses. So I am now going to get up Maxwell's list, and then I'll probably just talk about Maxwell's list. So this is what Maxwell picked. He actually put Toy Barn Encounter in D. Didn't expect that at all because I always thought if I was to know him in why he would pick this choice, probably just because it is a very hard boss encounter and it wasn't really in the movie. I can understand that. I can get behind that. Slime Time, I'm surprised he didn't put in D. Bombs Away, fair enough. That's another choice. Airport Infiltration, we picked pretty much the same, I think. Tarmac Trouble, Andy's house. I cannot believe you put Andy's house in B. I would have thought 100% it'd be S tier. I swear, I would have thought it would 100% been S tier. So that's a bit shocking. Andy's Neighborhood, I didn't think maybe you'd put that in S tier. I did think it'd be high up on the list. Did not expect you to put Elevator Hop in A tier though. I guess you like torturing yourself. Alleys and Gullies, I would have honestly thought you would have put Alleys and Gullies here, Elevator Hop here, and Tarmac Trouble, and Airport Infiltration in D. So I'm very surprised you only put one in D, but that's completely fine. That's your... I think the TV's come on downstairs. I think I've left it on pause and the TV's now come on, so I have to go turn that off. Prospector Showdown in A, that's another choice I didn't really expect. I like the fact that I can see a pattern here. Maxwell's picked Owl's Penthouse, Owl's Spaceland, and Owl's Toy Barn. I have a feeling you like the Owl's penthouse owl stage levels, which is fine. I didn't put this one in S tier, but I do think I put this one in S tier, and this one was kind of close in my opinion of going into S tier. I think the biggest shock for me is Andy's house you've put in B tier. But I think the rest is, I think this is a pretty good tier list. I wish I could compare more. I would have had a text document and I would have put how many times people have Andy's house in S tier and how many times people have like Alleys and Gullies or something in D tier, and just see if there's some kind of overall ranking we could have done on, you know, what the public or community genuinely think about these levels. So it looks like Maxwell put Stinky Pete in S tier. Whatever this boss is, which I have no idea, in S tier. This one's quite good, so I can see why. Absolutely. That's deserving of that. A little bit surprised that he put this one in A tier, because I genuinely think this is one of the worst bosses in the game for just being so boring and easy to defeat. You just or push it into the toxic sludge, whatever it is, and that's it. It's done. I would have thought that this would have been in S tier for you, and I can get behind this. I can get behind this, and I also am kind of shocked. I'm not surprised about this one, and if anything, you should have put that one in D tier. But I'm kind of shocked that this is here, and this is here, and even this one's here. But understandable. You tried to do a decent list of different ones. So that's mine and Maxwell's tier lists. I think I'm saying that correctly. I said tier, or no, it's not tier, is it? It's tier lists. God, I'll get the wording correct. My next video I'm planning to do will be, in fact, I'll give you a little snippet so you can look forward to this, I guess, if I actually ever fucking do it. This is a GFX viewer. You can view the collision or you can view the graphics. So this, for example, it has the Toy Story 2 E3 prototype, the Toy Story 2 early demo. It even has Bugs Life early demo, and then it has the final retail version. So I'll give you a quick snippet. For example, this is Andy's house with the collision. So you can actually, well, what the fuck? So this is it's really hard to control. You have to move the mouse and everything. It's probably really laggy as well. So yep, that's Andy's house where you can see the collision. And now let's have a look at the graphics viewer of Andy's house. And you can actually go around the entire level and look at stuff. So look how weird this is. So I obviously plan to go in, like, do a full video on this and go level to level comparing stuff to me and Maxwell covered this shit, and we were like mind blown at what we were seeing, that someone was able to do this. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing in the next video. I'll probably record that straight after doing this while I'm still here. But I hope you enjoyed the tier list video, and I hope you look forward to this. If you want to, I'll probably leave a link to this in the next video. But it's pretty dark in here, actually, isn't it? I look pretty dark sitting in this room. Thank you for watching. Please do your own tier lists and send them to my way, or just do them in the comment section. I would really love to see what more people think about these levels. It is quite cool to see such a diverse and different opinion. I don't want everyone to have the same opinion, of course. I'm not pissed off that people don't put Andy's house in S tier. I'm not like that anyway. It's actually, I would want to know why someone would put it in D tier and then know their opinion on why they would put that in D tier. And maybe I'll go, you know what, actually that makes perfect sense. Yeah, look at that, look. Trippy!